Hi, my name is Thipili Reese, and I am going to be heading up the HSPT 5-week course here at CMI Tutoring. So I'm going to go through a little bit of information about the tests and also about the sessions moving forward. So we have the Catholic High School Entrance Exam, which is the HSPT. So we need to look at how it's scored, what does it look like, and also when is it? So we have our score, which is based on how many questions you answer correctly. So you don't get penalized for any incorrect answers. As long as you are answering the question correctly, you get a point for that answer. Okay, so this is really important moving forward because this is how we're going to take the test. Okay, if we're running out of time taking the test, then we're just going to fill in as much as we can within that last minute. Let's say we have 10 questions, we only have 1 minute. Well, we're going to fill out the answers as best as we can, taking our best guess, because you could get points for any guesses that you get correctly. Okay, it's better than leaving it empty where you don't get any points for any empty questions. So what does it look like? The test is 2 hours and 21 minutes long, and there are 298 multiple choice questions. Okay, we're going to break those down moving forward in this presentation. So when is it? January 9th, 2021 or January 23rd, 2021. And you're going to reach out to the Catholic high schools and see which test is available at which schools, okay? So they have a certain amount of seats that are available, especially right now during the pandemic. And so you want to make sure that you're signing up for the date that you want to sign up for very quickly so that you make sure that you get your seat. Also, I would suggest signing up and taking the test at your first choice Catholic school. Okay, they're going to have maybe a little bit more information, and some schools, they have you take an extra writing prompt during your test. So you want to make sure that you're taking every test that you need to in order to apply to that school. All right, so breaking down. So you have 5 subtests. You have verbal skills, which is 60 questions in 16 minutes. Quantitative skills, which is 52 questions and 30 minutes. Reading, which is 62 questions, 25 minutes. Math, 64 questions, 45 minutes. And language, which is 60 questions and 25 minutes. Again, some schools require the 25-minute writing prompt. So if that is something that your school requires, I suggest that you start working on your writing and checking to see if your grammar and your punctuation are correct during that time. Okay, so your first subtest is verbal skills, and this is going to be 4 questions per minute. And so we're going to be working a little bit more quickly through this area because we have a higher ratio for 4 questions per minute. This area will measure vocabulary, verbal reasoning skills, and your ability to understand relationships between words. So this means we're working with synonyms, antonyms, analogies, verbal classification, and verbal logic. Then we have our quantitative skills, and this is 2 questions per minute. And this is going to be a little bit longer for each question, and that's why you have 2 questions per minute, just because you are doing math without a calculator. So you're going to have to be able to do those calculations on your piece of paper and get your correct answer. So this area measures geometric figures and your use of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You're going to have number sequence, geometric comparison, non-geometric comparison, and number manipulation. Your subtest 3 is reading, and this is about 3 questions per minute. And this subtest measures your ability to understand ideas in reading passages and the meaning of words in short phrases. So we're going to be spending a lot of time reading the passage, and that's kind of why you have 3 questions per minute. But you should be able to go through the questions that go along with the passage pretty quickly, okay? During the course, we'll work through how to actually go through the passage pretty quickly and how to answer your questions quickly by referring back to the passage, okay? So the first part will have about 6 or 7 reading passages with questions that cover the material. So this can be articles, novels, short stories, speeches, and textbooks. And then you have word and context. So this is totally different and separated from the passages, and it is basically testing you on, do you know the meaning of words based on the sentences or phrases that they are already in. All right, we have mathematics, which is 1.5 questions per minute. And this is going to be where you're spending a lot longer on your questions than any other test, okay? So this subtest measures your skills in math, elementary algebra, and basic geometry. And this is going to be things that you've already covered in 7th grade and the beginning of 8th grade. So these are going to be dealing with concepts. So basically rules in math of terminology, elementary algebra, and basic geometry, and then problem solving, which is your quantitative problems. Then you have language, which is about 2.5 questions per minute. This subtest measures your understanding of English, covers how words are used, grammar, punctuation, capitalization, and spelling. It will also test composing and organizing sentences and paragraphs. So here you're going to have usage, spelling, and composition. Okay, so this is why you're spending a little bit more time on these questions too. So you have 3 options that you can choose from. We have group 1, which will meet on Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 5. So this is if you want to just get it done as soon as you're out of school, then you can come in, do your test prep, and then you're done for the evening, okay? So our first session is going to be November 23rd and 25th, which is this upcoming Monday and Wednesday. Then you have your second session, which is November 30th and December 2nd. You have your third, which is December 7th and December 9th. Your fourth, which is December 14th and December 16th. Then we have a week break for Christmas week, okay? And then you have your 5th session, which is December 28th and December 30th. And that is going to give you enough time to have a week before the first test, before the January 9th test. Group 2 is on Mondays and Wednesdays also, but it's from 7 to 8. So if you have commitments after school that you have to attend and you just can't get home until late, then this is the group for you. And this is going to be the same dates as group 1, except the time is from 7 to 8. Then we have group 3, which is on Saturdays from 10 to 12. And I put it to 10 because I know that teenagers don't like waking up early. So I would rather you be ready to go. And so that's why we have it from 10 a.m. to 12:15. There'll be a 15-minute break at 11 o'clock. So our first session is November 28th. Our second is December 5th. Our third is December 12th. Our fourth is December 19th. And our last session is January 2nd, which is, again, a week before you take the first test. Now, if you are not able to make any of these sessions, let's say that you have something that you need to do while we're supposed to be meeting up, that's perfectly okay. You will have a recording sent to you after each session anyway, even if you attend or if you don't attend, so that you can either rewatch it and kind of work through the problems that you are struggling with, or watch it for the first time and go through your session. Okay, so preparation. This is really what you need to do before you take the test. And this is whenever you're taking tests and whenever you're taking a standardized test, right, that is going to be pretty important to you entering the school. So an entrance exam, right, they're going to be longer, they're going to be bigger, and they're going to test a lot more. So you really have to prepare for it. You really have to work on it and see what you need to do in order to be confident while taking the test. So the first thing is work on your weaknesses. So you need to identify where you are lacking in your skills. So whether it is math, reading, comprehension, if it's language, you know, what are you really struggling with? And then focus really on those weaknesses. And then number 2, really try to understand the material. How do I actually solve this? What are the skills that I need to have in order to be successful. And it's really easy to memorize your material, take the test, and then forget it, right? Like that happens all the time, especially, for younger kids who are just trying to take the test, right? So really understand the material, because you will go into the test way more confident because you actually understand how to solve the problems or how to take the test, rather than just memorizing, okay, this formula is this, okay? Number 3, take practice tests for each section under the same time as the test. So this is a time test, and so you really need to train yourself and your body to be able to take these tests in the time that you are given. And so if it is 25 minutes, then practice your test in 25 minutes so that you are, getting to that point to where you're able to take this test and able to answer the questions with enough time. Okay. We will go through that more within the sessions, and we'll work on these more within the sessions. But this is really so that you understand that you are responsible for your own learning, you are responsible for your own test. And so the hard work that you put in, you're gonna see the results on your test, okay? But if you just kind of blow it off, well, you'll see the results on the test also, okay? All right, so the last thing is I will be providing a diagnostic test to students who sign up with the 5 sessions. And so the diagnostic test is really a smaller test. It's not as long as a 200 and some question test, but it is a 50 question test, and you will go through the diagnostic test online, and you'll take the test and you'll get your results as soon as you're done. Please make sure that you're taking your time to take this test so that you really are giving me and yourself a good picture of where you're struggling and where are your strengths. Okay. So again, you'll get those results right away. You'll see what it is you need to work on a little bit more. And so that when we start a session, let's say if you are really low in your quantitative skills, okay, then during our quantitative sessions, you'll have a little bit more time to ask questions, to try and understand what it is you're doing, because you know that you need to work on that, okay? So if you have any questions, you can always email me at truiz@cmitutoring.com. You can always contact us here on the website so that you can ask us any questions that you may have. And you can always just register and attend the sessions so that we can get started on helping you with your HSPT prep. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and God bless.